Hi everyone. So far, we have learned dynamic update, dynamic insert, saving the entities to the database. And we have checked multiple data types and what are supported. And we have not covered custom data types. Let's consider custom data type. I'm going to create a custom data type, say contact. And the contact would have a set of mobile numbers or the home numbers. Let's consider this is a self. Let's create the contact class. As part of the contact, I'll be using string mobile number, string home number, and office. So I'm going to capture these three as part of the custom data type or custom class. So let's create the certificates, toString method, format it, save. Now let's come back to the person class, and here I have created it. Now if I start it, the JPA would fail because it doesn't know about this data type. Let's create the setters and getters for the contact and run the application. Maximize the console. If you see it, we got an exception that it can't understand what is the contact. So, like we use the primitive data types and wrapper classes, we cannot use the custom classes. So, we need to notify JPA that it is a custom data type. How are you going to do it? Using embedded from the Jakarta. When you say it, we are saying that this contact can be embedded into this one, and at the same time, we need to mark this contact class as embeddable. We are marking contact as embeddable into an entity. In this case, into a person. So save all the files and run the application. Verify our create table. So as part of the create table, if you observe, home is been created, mobile is created, office also created. That means this embeddable entity or embeddable class or data type is part of the create table, but it came as part of the single table. This is the advantage. There are few scenarios where we need to create multiple data types. For example, here first name last name can be combined into one as a name object, and as part of the name object we can capture first name last name middle name, like that. In the database we can save it as a single table, because in the database it is okay to have multiple columns. Even though we have more than 100, it's okay. But in the Java, if we have more than a certain number of properties, then we consider that as a code spell. Means it's a bad practice. Not only that, this contact object can be used at another entities as well. And they can override. For example, they don't want to see the home as home. Instead of it, they want to see as a home number. Mobile as a mobile number. Office as office number. In such cases, they can override the column names as well. And at the same time, they can apply column attributes on this one as well. So as part of it here, I can say mobile not null. So nullable, false. So mobile number is mandatory. Annotations that are supported at the column can be used at the embeddable as well. It is just like another entity which can be inserted into another entity. But it doesn't have its own table or it doesn't have its own repository. So here I would like to change home as home number just to show how we can override the properties. So let's go to the person, and here we need to use override attributes. So attribute overrides, and it takes an array. So parenthesis, and here we need to use attribute override. So as part of the override, it takes the name. So in this case, it is a home. Now we need to give the column, and the column data type. The value is @column. We need to provide @column. And as part of the column, we can provide all the values like any other column. Here I am giving home number. Along with that, we can set all other properties as it is required. So this is how we are going to override it. So I'm going to say this one as length as only 10 characters. We have created a contact class and it has one of the properties is nullable one, and the home column has been overridden and it has provided its own set. So this will show how we are going to override it when we are using the contact at multiple entities. So we can override the properties as we need. And along with that, we have the setters, getters. Let's create the contact. I have created the contact. The contact, I set the mobile number, some dummy value, and home also I set the some dummy value. Here I set exactly 10 characters because we have applied length as 10, and for the mobile we set as the not null. So in this case, I have created the contact and I updated the contact at the person object, and we are sending it to the save. And rest of the code as is. Save all the files on the application. So let's observe first create table. As part of the create table, we have the home. Home as home number. We changed the column name and the data type length. It's working as expected, and we set mobile number not null. So here is the mobile number and not null, and office we have not set anything. And let's go back to our insert query. In the insert query, it considered the mobile, office and home, everything, because as part of the insert, it goes all null values. It has inserted everything. If we check the saved object, as part of the saved object, we have the mobile number and home number and office number as null because we have not set, and it is part of the self. So this is how we are going to embed one entity into another. So here we have learned how to create an additional data type and make them as embeddable to the other one, and overriding the column properties as embeddable classes can be shared across the multiple entities. So here we checked how to override any of the properties or the columns using attribute overrides and override. As part of the override, we need to provide the column definition. So this is how we are going to override, and the name, it should be exactly the same property which is defined at the embeddable one. In this case, it's a home, so we use the exact one. So for that, it has been overridden.